I've made $1 billion in GTA Online. I have 2 mansions. I have every property you can own. Over 300 unique vehicles, fully upgraded. Every weapon in the game. I could walk into any store in Los Santos and buy literally everything without checking the price. Now, as GTA 6 slowly approaches the horizon, I can take a moment to reflect on all the years of playing GTA Online, and I think it's safe to say that making all this money was the worst idea I've ever had. GTA Online came out in October of 2013 and immediately took the world by storm. Every gaming channel on YouTube was cashing in on the GTA wave. Even larger than the audience playing the game was the audience of kids sitting at home, not old enough to play the game. That was me. Despite probably being old enough to play the game, my parents thought that the ESRB ratings on the games were law. And I mean like serious law. Like FBI is gonna raid your house Ruby Ridge style kind of law. And that's where my obsession with GTA started. It was the perfect game that I was never going to get to play. Or at least for another 6 years when I would be able to just buy the game myself. Although the hype was real for the first few months, GTA Online still had its issues. The biggest one being that there wasn't much to do. After you got bored of running your friends over with a Fagio, robbing liquor stores, and visiting the strip club, there were only a few select missions and races that barely paid any money. Then, everything changed. Rockstar released the Heist update for GTA Online about 2 years later in March of 2015. I still wasn't old enough, but friends who played the game at the time still, to this day, say that that's the best update to GTA Online ever. It introduced new properties, new cars, and a new way to make a lot of money.
Oh, sorry. What happened?
Up until this point in the game, the grinding method in GTA Online was to play missions like Rooftop Rumble or participate in races that, at most, would pay you about $30,000. In modern GTA terms, that's chump change. But with the new Heist update, people could walk away with up to $250,000 in their pocket. Or closer to $1 million if you were a greedy bastard and you gave all your friends the lowest cut. Not only was there more ways to make money now, but there was more to spend it on. The best part about this update was that you had to play with friends. You couldn't start the heist without 4 people, and playing with randoms was like trying to coordinate an armed militia of newborn puppies. This changed the game from the sandbox chaos simulator that it was, and turned it into the grind and hustle that we know and love today. And it opened the door for so many more updates. The Heist update that came out right after I got the game was the Doomsday Heist update. Another huge change to the game, and some of the first missions I completed on my path to making $1 billion. I always thought that I started the game at an amazing time. Too late to suffer through the endless Rooftop Rumble missions, and too soon to get destroyed by the Oppressor Mark II. But looking back at it now, the downfall of GTA Online was just beginning. Heists, businesses, bunkers. There's more ways to make money in GTA Online at this point than there ever has been before, which is awesome. Unless you're Rockstar, and you really want people to buy shark cards. But rather than pissing off the entire player community and cutting the pay of all these in-game activities, Rockstar did what any totalitarian government would do when they want to control their population. Introducing inflation. For over 2 years, the Grotti X80 Proto was the most expensive vehicle in GTA Online, coming to a total of $2.8 million, and Rockstar was releasing a lot of vehicles under this price. Then, in an update shortly after the Nightclubs update, Rockstar released the Pegassi Tesseract at a whopping $2.825 million. Uh-oh. This is the straw that broke the camel's back, as Pavel would say. Yes, the Oppressor Mark II did come out before this, and it was way more expensive, but the Oppressor Mark II is really overpowered, so I feel like it makes sense. The Pegassi Tesseract was no better than the Grotti X80 Proto. As a matter of fact, it's electric, so it's even worse. But after the Tesseract released, Rockstar would continue to add more and more expensive cars. Flash forward to 2026, we haven't seen a car release for under $1 million in a long time. Now, even the new Honda Accord costs more than a Bugatti does in real life. Instead of being able to buy a new car after each Doomsday Heist I was doing, I would have to do 2 or 3 Doomsday Heists just to buy one car. But again, this would all change.
Is this the right place for the party? Can we post? Is there a hashtag?
When this heist hit the streets, everyone went crazy. Suddenly, you had the power to make millions all by yourself. No friends, no cuts, no listening to some guy eat a bag of chips on the mic while you try to do the heist. You got the whole thing all to yourself. Not only could you do this heist alone, but it was the easiest, the fastest, and the highest paying heist up until this point in GTA. At its release, a solo player could easily make $1.5 to $2 million an hour. With the original target loot prices, the OG gold glitch, and a whopping 20-minute cooldown for a solo heist, making money in GTA Online suddenly felt accidental. Despite having played the game for close to 3 years at this point, this is where my grind for $1 billion truly began. I was a GTA brokey, and I really wanted a lot of things that were in the game. And now that Cayo Perico was out, I felt like I could do it. And this is the moment that I decided that I wasn't going to just get everything I wanted, I was going to get everything. Period. And it honestly didn't take me that long. After about 6 or 7 months, I had pretty much done it. I had bought everything I wanted, including everything I didn't want, and I had saved up an extra $100 million for future updates. I had done it. I had everything I wanted in the game. I didn't have to grind anymore. It was time to enjoy all these things that I had spent so much time working towards. But that's not at all what happened. As a matter of fact, I immediately stopped playing GTA Online, and a short period after that would be the first time I ever uninstalled GTA since purchasing it to make space for other games. The game I had spent my whole childhood desperately wanting. The game I had spent the last year of my life grinding so that I could finally have all of these things. I didn't even want to play anymore. I would start the game, spawn in my casino penthouse, stare at the screen for about 5 minutes, and just decide to close the app and move on. I wasn't just burnt out. I had removed the point from the game. As I mentioned earlier, there wasn't a whole lot to do in GTA Online until they added the grind and the hustle aspect, and well, now I don't have anything to grind and hustle for anymore. I made my $1 billion, but I had completely ruined the game in the process. The introduction of Cayo Perico may have been a very necessary step to bridge the gap from the poor solo players to the players who had a bunch of friends to use and abuse to make a lot of money. But I think it was the final nail in the coffin. It broke the GTA economy. Suddenly, you could make the value of a $100 shark card in just a couple hours. So once again, Rockstar had to move the bar. Now we have cars that don't cost more than $30,000 in real life that cost over $3 million in the game after you fully upgraded them. Cars that wouldn't have even been worth $500,000 when the game first came out. Rockstar even used the forbidden jutsu of nerfing a heist. Cayo Perico is no longer as solo friendly as it used to be. They cut the target loot prices, you can't do the gold glitch anymore, and there's now a whopping 2-hour, 48-minute cooldown if you complete the heist on solo. Don't get me wrong. Not everything I mentioned so far is all that bad. As a matter of fact, I think some of these changes are actually good. Now that Cayo Perico isn't as solo grindable as it used to be, it forces you to play the game with friends more, and even try the other activities that Rockstar's added to the game over the years. So you're less likely to get burnt out. Not to mention, with all the cars being more expensive, it would take a player a lot longer to get to the point where I was in the game. But I'm starting to think that we need to step away from the grind aspect of GTA and other games. When I was growing up and I really wanted to buy this game, every video on YouTube I saw about it was about one thing: playing the game with your friends, finding glitches, and laughing about stupid shit. There were no solo money-making methods or weekly update guides. It was just about finding dumb glitches and laughing with your friends until 3 in the morning. When you look up GTA on YouTube now, it's almost exclusively money-making methods and business tier lists. The point of the game has changed. The days of just getting on and having a laugh with the boys are over. And to me, that's a huge problem. Not just with GTA, but with gaming in general. Take it from me, a guy who has already made $1 billion in GTA and has everything. It's not worth it. The only thing that has brought me back to the game over the past few years since completing this is friends. Not new updates, not new money-making methods, no new cars, nothing like that. Just me and the boys shooting the up and atomizer at each other. And as I think back over my years of playing GTA Online, my most memorable moments came from the times when I was broke, trying to do Pacific Standard over and over again with my friends and constantly failing because they're so ass. I can't even remember the 1500th run I did of Cayo Perico when I finally hit the $800 million mark. I don't care about that. So why am I telling you this? Who really cares, right? GTA 6 comes out in about a year, and GTA 6 Online will soon follow, and everything will start again. But I wanted to share this message because, like I said, I feel like this is an issue that transcends GTA. A lot of people have been talking lately about how games don't capture them like they used to when they were young. And I think it's a lot to do with this grindy culture. Everyone is suddenly more worried about completing the battle pass or 100%ing a game, even if it means ditching your friends because it's more efficient to play solo. To me, that's exactly what's ruining games for people. Another great example is COD multiplayer. People aren't liking the modern CODs as much as they were of the glory days, they call it. And let's think back to those games. There used to be 0 progression in the game outside of leveling up. Now there's 1,200 camos to unlock, 1,000 levels after the last prestige, and an endless string of battle passes. These aren't games anymore. They're careers. Careers that reward you with nothing more than more digital chores to do. It's a meaningless pursuit that leaves you feeling empty at the end, because there is no end. New games will come, new updates will come out, and you'll be stuck doing the same missions over and over and over again. You're not playing to have fun anymore. You're playing to accomplish something. The problem is, these accomplishments are meaningless, especially without friends to enjoy them with. So, the next time you want to play a game, do me a favor. Don't worry about making $1 billion. Don't worry about completing the battle pass. Don't worry about being the best in the lobby. Just hit up a friend, load up the game, and have a good time. I promise you, it will be the most enjoyable gaming session you've had in a while. And remember this, the real $1 billion is the friends we made along the way. Well guys, that's about all I have to say. If you made it to the end of this video, you're an absolute legend. And if you enjoyed yourself for like even a fraction of a second, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to make it to 100 subs. Anyway, please have an awesome week. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!